While a lot of countries identify, and a lot of experts identify technologies, technological solutions, partnerships as ways of addressing challenges related to climate change, finance is often one of the challenges that remains unresolved. And it's often not a question of whether there is financing, but how to get that financing to the people who need it and the organizations that need it to execute their response to climate change. Climate finance can take many forms. There's a great deal of finance in so-called public finance, which is supported or provided by donor governments, by multilateral banks, and so forth. Private finance is perhaps much more important because there's a lot more of it, and it's where most of the investment and financing decision makings are handled by the private sector. Without private finance, investment wouldn't happen ordinarily. And to address the massive amounts of infrastructure and other kinds of investments that are needed, private financing is going to be a critical part of that. USAID commissioned this report to take a closer look at the countries where we're specifically working through a regional program that we are currently implementing. This program is called Low Emissions Asian Development, or LEAD, and it works in 11 countries across Southeast Asia and South Asia. The work of the program really focuses on promoting efforts in these countries to pursue low carbon developments through different types of approaches. So climate financing is, of course, a very critical area that these countries are considering. And what this report helps accomplish is first to identify where the gaps are in terms of financing. There is a stated need of infrastructure investment that is projected over the next 25 or so years in order to meet the different kinds of expected mitigation plans. In other words, the efforts to reduce emissions and to start address climate change. And not just in terms of emissions, but also in terms of adapting to the impacts of climate change. There are very large sums of money, in the hundreds of billions of dollars, projected for the Asia region. And in comparison to that, this report identifies the current levels, which are a small fraction of those anticipated levels. So the Asia LEADS partnership is one of the key sponsors behind this event. LEADS, incidentally, stands for Low Emission Development Strategies. The Asia LEADS partnership was set up to support knowledge sharing and peer learning and increased cooperation among countries in Asia to address issues that many countries and different stakeholders are facing related to promoting low carbon development as a vehicle for more sustainable and greener growth. There's a lot of material there making the case for strong action to promote low carbon development and address climate change. And these are win-win solutions. They're no regrets ideas. I think it raises again this issue that we're often facing just a lack of awareness, and we're not reaching the right stakeholders to get the message across that these opportunities are out there for making smarter investments that will yield more prosperity, more value, more wealth creation over time. It's been very interesting this week here in Manila because we're hearing a lot of people almost spontaneously identify the Asia LEADS partnership as really an important vehicle for addressing a lot of these common concerns.